Hello. Hello. I'm never go live on YouTube unless I'm going live with Mo. I haven't been on here by myself in a little minute. And I'm gonna start uploading again. I'm gonna start going live again and doing more things because I clearly have something to offer to the world, which is why people subscribe and follow me. So I'm doing dishes and I decided to go live to kind of share some of my thoughts, share um, a bit of an experience that I had today. It's been this is like probably my first time feeling like this, like my first time having these type of thoughts. And shout out to Julius because we were both just kind of taken aback today with Julius. If you guys don't know who that is, please go follow him. He's got awesome content. We're in a Discord server. One of our friends, Nick, he's got a Discord server. It's cool, it has its ups and downs because you get crazy people in there that tend to hinder conversation at times. But we were on the discussion of Jason Aldean and the song Try That in a Small Town. And it was crazy because we're having this discussion and I was listening to the criticism that was being given to the discussion. And if the song was indeed inciting violence, I would probably agree. But here's the critique for the song that I heard. This song is going to incite violence, or in fact, this song does incite violence in a small town. Why agitate? Why agitate something that's already, you know, why agitate a situation? Pretty much. Why put the song out? Why agitate the situation? Leave it alone. Peaceful protesters versus rioters. Okay, we get it. So I decided to be consistent and say, well, how come we don't have the same criticism for rap music that comes out 24/7? There's a rap song released every day, and that rap song is glorifying violence, calling out other gangs, other sets. And there is no real outrage that comes from liberal media. And this is what I'm talking about, liberal media. Um, the right will bring it up, but it's always to say, look at these people, look at this music that they're creating, da 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 da. And it does what the media does, which is stereotype. So I'm having the conversation, and in the midst of me having this conversation, I'm bringing up parallels and comparing. I start to feel like, why don't you see me as equal? I don't think I've ever said that out loud or even felt that in a moment as an adult right now. Like maybe when I was younger because you're taught certain things, but to genuinely have that feeling of, why don't you look at me as equal? It it kind of scared me today because I'm listening to this person complain about a country song that could potentially incite violence in a small town. But I'm also watching this same person like stumble and fumble and trip over themselves to call out rap music and the behavior that it promotes, etc. And although her reasonings were, they were her reasonings, and she was actually being authentic. So I couldn't get mad at her. But in the moment, she wouldn't hold Black people who make this music accountable. It was, well, it's not all Black music. Well, it's not all rap music, and the rap music here is good. What about this rap music? Why are we focused on, the bad elements of the rap music? And I was just like, If this is inciting violence, this Jason Aldean song, and you're against violence and you don't want that perpetuated and you don't want it pushed, why can't you call out the rap music? And I was listening to excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse as to why you can't call out black people. Well, I'm generalizing, and it's like, how are you generalizing? Are you implying that we're all like this? Well, no. So then, what's wrong with the generalization? It is what it is. If we can say that men are weak in 2023, and we don't have to differentiate, we don't have to, resort to talking about the individuals, and we can understand that you're just making a general statement. You're not encompassing all of them. Why can't we do that here? And in the back of my mind, I'm asking, how come you don't view me as equal? Why don't you hold me to the same standard that you hold Jason Aldean or any other person for that matter? Why do you have this leeway for rap? Why do you have this leeway for black people to create this degenerate music, which is literally killing young black men and women, killing them? How is it you can't have a criticism for that? Why don't you see black people as equal, bro? I never in a million years thought I would say that and actually mean it, not in a trolling way. Because usually when you say that, you're trolling a liberal and you're like, bro, I'm your equal, chill. Like, you're trying to make fun of their talking points. But when you meet someone who is like genuinely uncomfortable and almost somewhat afraid to call it out because they don't want to generalize, well, you're not generalizing. You're talking about a specific part of rap music, which is indeed violent. I don't know. I'm rambling. I know there's only one person here, but these are the thoughts that I'm having. Why can't you call a spade a spade? Why does it then get, we want to get semantical when it comes to critiquing black folks? Like, it's weird, man. It's really weird. And I genuinely like discussing with this person. Like, I like having conversations, and I don't have any ill will. Like, I don't feel any type of way. But it did just make me look at this person a lot different. It did, because it's almost like people have this expectation of you when you're black. It's different to talk about it in theory, and it's different to talk about it when you are going after leftists that are stupid, and they are genuinely trying to virtue signal because it makes them feel good. I don't think a lot of these people even believe what they're talking about. I think they don't even know what they're talking about. But for someone to not want to offer a critique because you're black or because you don't want to generalize, it was just wild to me, man. And I've watched this person generalize men, specifically white men, to say how dangerous they were in history, and white men are responsible for a lot of things, and it's like, but you're generalizing. You're just straight up saying white men. But when it comes time to talk about black music and black people, I can't generalize. It's 2023. Why can't we be seen as equal? Who's watching? There's 3 people here. Let me get some movement in the chat. What's going on? I don't know why this guest thing is here, and I don't know how to turn it off. Anyways, I'm doing dishes and just getting my thoughts out. Um, This may make absolutely no sense, and I could just be howling into the wind, and people will watch this video and be like, "What the hell is this lady talking about?" But this was the first. This was the first time. The first time, not in a long time, because like I stated before, when you're younger, you don't really know why you feel these things. You're just reacting to an environment. But me being an adult and really pushing the idea of being able to have conversations with any and everyone, um, understanding that we are in 2023, and also there will always be racist people, but I believe for the most part, I used to believe for the most part that America was past that. I have to be honest with myself and you. I used to think for a long time that Americans were past the dumb stereotypes, the dumb assumptions about each other. And when Trump was in office, you had a sense of hope that, all right, like, yeah, we can all work together and it's all good. But you see that people still walk around with these ridiculous stereotypes of who they think you are. You do. We're watching one side perpetuate blacks just being completely stupid. And then we're watching the other be hypercritical while ignoring real issues like the LGBTQ trying to take over, but they'll fight CRT tooth and nail. It's just, why are we not looked at as equal? Why? And hey, why are people afraid to hold black people accountable? Why are you only criticizing one form of music and one specific song that says try that in a small town, and you're inciting violence, and people bringing up the fact that he's racist, and these people were protesting for a good cause, and they're saying if you try this in a small town, we say FAF all the time. When we look, I say it all the time when I meet right wingers. This does happen on the right. When I meet right wingers that love to throw around the N word and say, "What's my freedom of speech?" You're absolutely right. It is your freedom of speech. But go try that shit in the hood. How many times have y'all heard me say this? If you've been watching me long enough, you have heard me say that. Okay, fine. You have the freedom of you have the right to do that. You're absolutely right. But go try that here. Try it and see what happens. Everyone understands what I'm saying. Try it and see what happens. Liberals would understand what I'm saying. Try it and see what happens. But because this man is white and he is a country singer and he openly supports America and openly supports all these things, he's associated with Candace Owens, all this other stuff, he has to be the white devil. And oh my gosh, I cannot believe that he put this song out. This is so vindictive. This is so divisive. We can't have this in America. But shoot 'em up, bang bang. We can talk about dead ops and smoking on my dead ops and all this other stuff. We are allowed to do that. That's perfectly fine if we do it. And you shouldn't criticize art form. Because if you criticize the art form, then why are you ignoring all the rock and roll music? What about the rock and roll music? And it's just like, what about the rock and roll music? Okay, that's bad too. But can we focus on this? Can we talk about how this is dangerous? Can we fix this? Can we care about this topic? Can we care about this issue? Or do we always have to deflect and go back to what a white person did? It just, to me, when you sit and think about it, and this is me, think out loud. When I sit and think about all the excuses, it, it just seems like people are okay with having the viewpoints that they have. So that was the thought that I had today, y'all. I was sitting there listening to someone tell me that they could not criticize rap music because it would generalize Black people, but they could criticize this country song for inciting violence. It's wild. It's a wild concept. Hello. Hold on, let me end this. Thank you guys. This is my rant. There at J